The water delivery guy was born with exceptionally sharp eyes. With just one glance, he immediately determined that the little girl had a broken finger. He grabbed an ice pop from a nearby boy, wolfed it down in a few bites, then gently placed the popsicle stick on the girl's injured finger. Next, he removed the hair tie from her head and fashioned a makeshift splint. Half-jokingly, he asked the little girl for $1 as his medical fee. Just then, the girl's father rushed over and took her away. Before leaving, the water delivery guy reminded the father to take the girl to the hospital for an examination. At the hospital, when the doctor saw the splint on the girl's finger, he was utterly shocked. He praised it, saying, "This is textbook-level splint work. If there had been any more delay, this finger would have been a goner." The doctor then arranged for the girl to get a CT scan. At that moment, the girl heard a familiar voice and discovered it was the water delivery guy who had treated her injury. The girl's father was about to approach him to express his thanks when he suddenly broke into a violent coughing fit. The water delivery guy saw at a glance that his condition was serious. He walked straight over and pressed his hand against the man's chest to examine him, but this abrupt gesture was pushed away by the girl's father. The water delivery guy urgently advised him to get a comprehensive checkup as soon as possible. Moments later, however, the girl's father began struggling to breathe and collapsed to the ground. The water delivery guy quickly dragged him out of the elevator and laid him flat on the floor. A doctor rushed off to grab emergency equipment. The water delivery guy pressed his hand on the father's chest. In that instant, a three-dimensional image of the father's heart appeared clearly in his mind. He realized the father had gone into cardiac arrest. However, when the doctor returned, he was carrying a ventilator. The water delivery guy insisted the doctor check the father's heart, but the doctor completely ignored him. Left with no choice, the water delivery guy grabbed the ventilator. Only then did the doctor re-examine the father and realized the water delivery guy was right. He immediately performed CPR on the father. A nurse also wheeled over a defibrillator. With the water delivery guy's assistance, the father's heartbeat was restored, but he needed surgery right away. However, due to a traffic accident, the emergency room was already packed with patients, and there were no available surgeons. The nurses were frantically worried. If surgery couldn't be performed soon, the girl's father's life would be in danger. The girl stood to the side, crying silently. The little girl knew in her heart that only this water delivery guy could save her father right now, but if he performed surgery without being registered to practice at this hospital, it could end his medical career. Just as the man turned to leave, the girl grabbed his hand tightly. She then pulled out the only coin she had from her pocket. This was all she could offer for medical fees. Looking at the crying little girl before him, the man made up his mind. No matter the consequences, he would do everything in his power to save the girl's father's life. He then disguised himself as the lead surgeon and strode into the operating room. Before anyone could react, he skillfully made the incision and began the surgery. Remarkably, not a single drop of blood flowed out, a sight that left the other doctors utterly stunned. In the end, through his exceptional medical skills, the man saved the girl's father's life. So, do you think the girl's one coin was enough to cover the man's treatment fee? Follow me to watch more exciting scenes from this movie.